Hey, warrior. Yes, you. The one who's tired of feeling stuck in a life that keeps spinning in circles. You've been trying to fix things, you've read books, sought advice, watched motivational videos, tried to change your habits, your routine, your mindset. But somehow, everything keeps slipping through your fingers. The energy comes, but soon fades. The motivation appears, but doesn't last. And you ask yourself, why can't I sustain my own changes? Now think about this carefully. Two men face the same storm. The first loses his job and collapses. He blames the economy, bad luck, the boss, and sinks into self-pity. The second also loses his job, but reacts differently. He wakes up earlier, improves his skills, and turns the loss into a new beginning. Same event. Completely different destinies. The difference? It's not luck. It's thought. It's not life that destroys people. It's the way they interpret life that destroys them. And that's exactly why Stoicism has never been more necessary than it is today. We live in an age of constant distraction, endless comparison, easy excuses, and fragile emotions, a world where it's easier to complain than to change. But the Stoics remind us of something we've forgotten. You don't control what happens, only how you respond. And that power, as simple as it sounds, is what defines a man's destiny. Fixing your life doesn't start with your job, your relationship, or your money. It starts with your mind. If you align your mind, the rest naturally falls into place. But here's a warning. The truths you're about to hear are not comfortable. They're not self-help quotes, they're punches to the ego. They're raw, direct lessons, sometimes hard to swallow. Because growth hurts. And change demands that you face everything you've been avoiding. If you're tired of self-sabotage, tired of living on autopilot, tired of being ruled by your emotions, then this is your moment. In this video, I'm going to guide you through 10 Stoic principles that can rebuild the foundation of your mind. You'll learn how to regain control over your emotions, your habits, your goals, and ultimately, your life. Each rule comes from the wisdom of Marcus Aurelius, Epictetus, and Seneca, but will be translated into the modern world. No complicated language, no distant philosophy. We'll talk about emotional strength, mental clarity, self-discipline, and purpose. And with each lesson, you'll receive a Stoic reflection, not as a pretty quote, but as a tool to transform the way you see yourself and the world. So before we begin, I want you to declare something in the comments. I will no longer live at the mercy of my emotions. If you're ready to stop blaming the world and take control of your own mind, like this video, share it with someone who needs to hear this, and subscribe to continue this journey of mental reconstruction. Because what comes next may completely change the way you think, act, and live. Let's begin. Rule 1. Stop negotiating with your weakness. Build your life action by action, and be satisfied if each one achieves its purpose. Marcus Aurelius. The first mistake most people make when trying to change their lives is simple but devastating. They negotiate with their own weakness. They tell themselves, just 5 more minutes in bed. I deserve a break today. I'll start on Monday. And so, a silent agreement is made, a pact between a weak mind and comfort. But what almost no one realizes is that every time you negotiate with your weakness, it wins. And the more it wins, the stronger it becomes. One day, you wake up and realize that it has become who you are. Your strong, disciplined, and focused version never disappeared. It's just buried under layers of indulgence, fear, and well-crafted excuses. Every "I'll start tomorrow" is another brick in the wall separating you from who you could be. The Stoics understood this better than anyone. They didn't seek comfort, they trained discomfort. They faced cold, pain, loss, and solitude not as punishment, but as forging. Every challenge overcome was a spiritual muscle strengthened. Every temptation resisted was a silent victory of the soul over the mind. Now think. When the alarm rings, do you get up with purpose, or surrender to the warmth of your sheets? When anxiety strikes, do you face it and breathe through it, or escape into distractions? When old habits call you back, Do you stand firm or give in and promise, this is the last time? The truth is brutal but freeing. You will never rebuild your life while protecting your weaknesses. There is no peace without discipline. There is no power without sacrifice. And there is no strong mind in someone who runs from their internal battles. Strength is born the moment you say, even in silence, not today. Every time you choose comfort over commitment, you are not just wasting time. You are postponing your destiny. So next time you feel like quitting, distracting yourself, or falling back into old patterns, don't negotiate. Don't explain. Don't rationalize. Just get up. Take a deep breath. And act like the warrior you know you can be. Because warriors aren't shaped by what they do when they're motivated. They're forged in the moments they act without motivation. Healing begins the exact moment you stop making deals with your weakness. Leave this affirmation in the comments. No more deals with weakness. I choose strength. Rule 2. Control your reactions, or be controlled by them. It's not things themselves that disturb us, but our judgments about them. Epictetus. Think for a moment. Two people hear the same insult. One laughs and moves on. The other carries those words like a blade stuck in their mind for weeks. The same event. Two completely different realities. Why? Because it's not what happens that hurts you, it's the meaning you give to what happens. It's not the traffic, the mistake at work, the rude look, or the failure. It's the interpretation you create, the storm you choose to feed inside yourself. Most people live as emotional prisoners. They give away their balance over the smallest spark. One online comment, a message left unread, a bit of criticism, and their peace crumbles. It's as if everyone walks around with an invisible leash, handing others control of their mood. But Stoicism teaches the opposite. You may not control what the world does to you, but you always control how you respond. That's the border between chaos and freedom. Think about it. Every time you explode in anger, drown in anxiety, or react impulsively, you're giving away your power. And the more you give it away, the more predictable you become. People who don't control their emotions are easy to manipulate. All it takes is someone pressing the right button, and they'll react exactly as the world expects. Do you want to live like that? Marcus Aurelius reminded himself every day. You have power over your mind, not outside events. Understand this, and you will find strength. True strength isn't in controlling the world, but in not being controlled by it. So how do you master your reactions? Step 1. Slow down. The moment you feel anger rising, pause. Breathe. Picture yourself watching the situation from the outside. Ask, what exactly do I control here? If the answer is nothing external, then the battlefield lies within you. Step 2. Separate facts from emotions. She was rude, that's a fact. I'm not good enough, that's the story you told yourself. Learn to see what's real without the emotional fog. It takes practice, but each time you do it, your mind becomes sharper, calmer, freer. Step 3. Reclaim your peace. Peace doesn't mean being passive. It means being unshakable. Responding with firmness and clarity without losing your center. It means understanding that your response is always your choice. And that other people's behavior never defines who you are. People who master their reactions are dangerous, in the best possible way. Because they can't be destabilized. They don't surrender to chaos. They act with purpose, even in the middle of the storm. And here's the truth few dare to accept. You're not born calm. You train calm, the way a warrior trains his blade. Each time you choose not to react, you strengthen your inner command. You prove, in practice, that you're not your emotions, you're their master. So next time someone tries to provoke you, remember. Words only have power if you allow them to. The attitude of others doesn't reflect who you are. But your reaction does. Want to rebuild your life? Start by mastering what no one can take from you. Your mind. Choose your response the way a warrior prepares for battle. with intention, strength, and clarity. Because the man or woman who controls their reactions controls their life. Leave this affirmation in the comments. My peace is mine. I will not give it away. Rule 3. Do what's hard, especially when you don't want to. If you want to improve, be willing to be seen as foolish and ignorant. Epictetus. Let's be honest. Most people already know exactly what they need to do to change their lives. Wake up earlier. Put the phone down. Avoid people who drain their energy. Train, study, keep promises. They know. But they don't do it. Why? Because it's hard. Because discomfort is scary. Because feelings speak louder than reason. And that's where the real battle begins, inside the mind. The ancient Stoics never waited to feel like it. They knew that emotional impulse is fragile. So instead of seeking comfort, they trained discomfort. They turned resistance into a forge. They knew that the man who only acts when he feels like it never builds anything that lasts. Look, you won't wake up inspired every day. You won't feel strong all the time. And that's okay. Because true power doesn't come from feeling ready. It comes from acting even when you're not. That's the difference between the weak and the strong. The weak wait for motivation. The strong rely on discipline. Motivation is emotion. Discipline is decision. And every decision requires sacrifice. Every time you choose to do what's hard, even when you're tired, discouraged, or uncertain, you're building mental armor. You're telling your mind, I don't need to feel good to act with power. Going to the gym when your body wants rest, victory. Having the hard conversation you've been avoiding, growth. Doing what needs to be done with no applause, greatness. Seneca once wrote, we suffer more in imagination than in reality. Think about how many battles you've lost before they even began. How many opportunities you've missed, not because you couldn't, but because you were afraid of feeling uncomfortable. The truth is harsh, but freeing. You will never feel ready. There will always be an excuse, a tomorrow, a later. But the price of waiting is regret. Years you can't get back. So stop waiting for motivation to appear. Wake up and act. Even tired. Even drained. Even when no one is watching. You don't need motivation, you need commitment. You don't need perfection, you need consistency. You just need to take the next step. And when your mind starts screaming, when your body wants to give up, remember, that's the moment when real growth begins. That's when you stop being a slave to weakness and become the architect of your own strength. You can only choose between two pains. The pain of discipline now, or the pain of regret later. But only one of them builds the life you want. The easy path charges high interest. The hard one, on the other hand, pays you with freedom. So stop running from effort. Stop looking for shortcuts. All real change is uncomfortable. But that's exactly what makes it real. Every sacrifice today makes tomorrow lighter. Every resistance you face now becomes a story of pride later. Just remember this. Discomfort is the price of evolution. And discipline is the only ticket to freedom. Leave this affirmation in the comments. I choose what's hard. I choose to grow. Rule 4. Cut the noise and master your focus. If you are everywhere, you are nowhere. Seneca. Let's face it. We live in a world that never stops screaming. Notifications, messages, likes, ads, opinions, alerts, distractions. Every second, someone or something is trying to hijack your attention. And then you wonder why you feel lost, anxious, disconnected. But here's the brutal truth. You can't fix your life if your mind is fragmented. The Stoics knew this centuries ago. They saw focus not as a skill, but as a virtue. Because whatever you give attention to grows, even chaos. Seneca said, protect your focus as if your life depended on it. Because, in fact, it does. Marcus Aurelius wrote in Meditations, "Concentrate every minute like a Roman on doing what's in front of you with precise and genuine seriousness." He didn't say, do everything at once. He didn't say, wait for inspiration. He said, deep attention, total presence, deliberate action. Now think. How many times in your day are you truly present? How often do you create something, instead of just consuming? How many hours of your life have you lost scrolling through a screen? Diving into distractions that build nothing? The problem isn't just lack of focus. The problem is where your focus is being spent. Because where your attention goes, your energy, your time, and your life follow. And here's the truth few are brave enough to admit. Most people aren't addicted to technology, they're addicted to noise. They can't stand silence. They can't go 5 minutes without checking their phone. They can't handle being alone with their own thoughts. And this isn't a judgment, it's a warning. A distracted mind becomes a wasted life. So how do you change that? With conscious choices. With mental discipline. Step 1. Cut the digital noise. Turn off notifications that don't matter. Set strict time blocks for social media. Use your phone as a tool, not a prison. Step 2. Create a sacred space for deep focus. Even if it's just 60 minutes a day. No notifications. No interruptions. Just you and what truly matters. That's where clarity is born. That's where self-respect grows. Step 3. Train your attention like a muscle. When you eat, just eat. When you walk, just walk. When you read, just read. Each moment of presence is a strike against distraction. Each conscious moment is a brick in the construction of your mind. The world will always try to capture your attention. But you will always have the power to choose what deserves it. The Stoic doesn't chase everything, he chooses with intention. Because a focused man is dangerous. He builds. He grows. He leads. Your ability to change your life is directly tied to your ability to focus on what matters. The noise will never disappear. But if you master your attention, you will master your world. So from today on, cut the excess. Silence the noise. And direct your energy toward what truly builds your future. Keep this engraved in your mind and in the comments. I control my focus. My attention builds my future. Rule 5. Stop seeking approval. You don't need permission to grow. We all love ourselves more than other people. Yet we care more about their opinion than our own. Marcus Aurelius. Think about that for a moment. You say you want to grow. You say you want to become strong, independent, free. But you still hesitate. You still seek approving eyes before you act. You still wait for someone to tell you it's the right time. Why? Because you're afraid. Afraid of being judged. Afraid of looking ridiculous. Afraid of being different. But here's the brutal truth. The world doesn't care about your potential. And guess what? You don't need its approval to evolve. You can't fix your life while waiting for applause at every step. Because the more you grow, the more resistance you'll face. And often, not from your enemies, but from the people closest to you. Why? Because your growth makes them uncomfortable. Your discipline reflects their lack of it. Your confidence exposes their insecurity. And what do? They belittle you. They criticize you. They try to trap you in your old self, the version they can understand and control. But the Stoic doesn't live to please. The Stoic lives by virtue, not validation. By truth, not popularity. Epictetus said, "If you want to improve, be content to be thought foolish." And that's what few understand. If you're afraid of looking strange, of being misunderstood, or of walking alone, you will never rise. You'll stay stuck in mediocrity, hiding behind the need to be accepted. But here's the raw reality. No one is coming to save you. No one is obligated to believe in you. No one can give you permission to become who you were meant to be. The moment you stop needing approval is the moment you become free. Because you no longer wait. You act. You no longer ask. You build. You no longer explain. You evolve. So what if they laugh at your new habits? So what if they don't understand your change? You're not here to be understood by small minds. You're here to be unforgettable. And if walking that path means walking alone, then walk alone with pride. Because the road to greatness has always been lonely. But it's also the most honest, the most rewarding, the most liberating road of all. So stop waiting. Stop apologizing. Stop explaining. You don't need their approval. You don't need their validation. You only need to decide. Decide that you're done playing small. Decide that your silence will be strength. And your focus will be your answer. Silence is power. Speak less. Master more. Rule 6. Let silence be your rule. Speak only what's necessary. Let silence be your general rule, or say only what is necessary, and in few words. Epictetus. We live in a world where everyone wants to be heard, but almost no one wants to listen. And the result? An ocean of noise. Millions of voices, few truths. Many speak, few have something real to say. But the Stoics understood something most people still ignore. Silence is not weakness. Silence is mastery. The one who speaks less, listens more. The one who listens more, learns faster. The one who learns faster, responds better. And keeps power instead of wasting it. You want to strengthen your mind? Start with your tongue. Not everything needs a response. Not everyone deserves an explanation. Not every thought must become sound. Because the more you talk, the more you reveal. Your fears, your insecurities, your plans. But when you remain silent, no one can read you. And that is power. Marcus Aurelius wrote, "The more we value things outside our control, the less control we have over ourselves." And few things reveal that truth as clearly as speech. Talking too much is an attempt to control others' perception. But the Stoic knows what others think is not the battlefield. Your mind is. When you're constantly justifying, proving, explaining, you're reacting to the world. But when you are silent, you are creating your own. Let others chase attention. Let others shout for validation. You don't. You stay silent. Focused. Lethally calm. Silence is not passivity. Silence is calculated presence. It's saying less, but meaning more. It's letting your actions speak 10 times louder than your words ever could. And there's another power in this. Silence protects. It protects your energy from useless arguments. It protects your dignity from emotional explosions. It protects your strategy from being revealed to the wrong people. So how do you master this art? Step 1. Be okay with delay. Not every message needs an immediate reply. Not every insult deserves a reaction. Let time speak for you. Step 2. Be comfortable being misunderstood. Silence teaches you that you don't need to explain who you are. You need to prove who you are, through consistency. Step 3. Focus on becoming, not displaying. While others talk about power, you build power. While others describe their plans, you execute in silence. The Stoic path is not loud. It's not flashy. It's quiet. Disciplined. Intentional. And it all begins with mastery of the word. So stop sharing everything. Stop justifying everything. Stop letting your energy escape through your mouth. Let your silence unsettle the insecure. Let your silence speak for your strength. Let your silence become your superpower. Affirmation. I let silence speak for my strength. Rule 7. Accept friction, embrace your mistakes. A gem cannot be polished without friction, nor a man perfected without trials. Seneca. Everyone fails. Everyone stumbles. Everyone carries regrets. But what separates a broken life from a rebuilt one is simple: how you respond to your failures. Do you face your mistakes like a warrior, or run from them like a coward? Most people run. They blame others. They make excuses. They hide behind distractions or fake positivity. But Stoicism has no room for escape. It demands brutal courage. The only way to become unbreakable is to look in the mirror and not look away. You wasted years in something toxic? Accept it. You broke your own principles? Accept it. You lied, procrastinated, sabotaged your dreams? Accept it. Not with shame, but with ownership. Because shame traps you, but responsibility frees you. Owning your mistakes doesn't mean dying in them, it means being reborn through them. It means saying, yes, I failed. But now I rise, and I'll never fall for the same reason again. Seneca reminds us, scars are the marks of a life lived with courage. Every wound is a certificate of growth. Stop hiding what hurt. Show it. Because it's there, in the friction, that you're polished. You can't rebuild your life while rewriting your past to look better. Face the fire of your own truth. Take full responsibility, not only for what you've done, but for who you choose to become now. No excuses. No stories. No lies. Say to yourself, as a Stoic vow, I accept my past. And I rise with purpose. Rule 8. Discomfort is your teacher. Discomfort is the test. It is the training ground of the soul. But what do most people do when it appears? They run. They distract themselves. They numb their minds with noise, food, pleasure, anything to make them forget. The moment pain arrives, they flee. The moment silence appears, they fill it with noise. But here's the truth few can stand to hear. Growth lives exactly on the other side of discomfort. The Stoics never sought easy lives. They sought strength, because they knew strength is the only true shield against chaos. You cannot strengthen your muscles without first tearing them in training. You cannot expand your mind without crossing the discomfort of questioning yourself. And you will never find peace if you keep running from the emotions that ask to be felt. Stop trying to escape every unpleasant feeling. Stop chasing comfort as if it were a cure. Sit with your discomfort and ask, what is this trying to teach me? What kind of strength is this trying to build in me? Because every failure, every rejection, every delay is not punishment. It is preparation. Stoic thought isn't about feeling good. It's about becoming good, even when everything feels bad. Marcus Aurelius faced war, plague, betrayal, and loss, and still wrote, if it's endurable, then endure it. That's not coldness. That's clarity. Discomfort didn't come to destroy you. It came to rebuild you. But that only happens when you stop running. When you face it head-on, with courage, calm, and presence. So next time pain arrives, don't ask, why is this happening to me? Ask, what is this trying to shape within me? In that moment, you stop being a victim and become a disciple. A disciple of pain. A disciple of discomfort. A disciple of strength. Say it with conviction. Discomfort is my teacher. I don't run anymore. In the end, it all comes down to this. You don't control the world, but you control yourself. You don't choose the circumstances, but you choose how you respond to them. You don't dictate what fate brings, but you decide what to do with what it brings. Stoicism isn't about erasing emotions. It's about mastering the chaos within you until nothing external can move you. Because true strength isn't shouting louder. It's staying silent when everything inside you wants to react. True freedom isn't doing whatever you want. It's having the power not to be a slave to your impulses. And true peace isn't found in the world. It's built within a disciplined mind. So remember, Don't seek comfort. Seek clarity. Don't seek approval. Seek truth. Don't seek applause. Seek virtue. A Stoic doesn't live to be noticed. He lives to be unshakable. And when the world screams, you will remain still, like a rock in the middle of the storm. That is victory. That is power. That is the Stoic path.